Grant Cardone, international, 8-book author, bestseller, self-made serial entrepreneur, known around the world from Australia to Auckland, Auckland to Indiana, Indiana to wherever. Comes to you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, bringing to you to homes around the world, TV stations everywhere, YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and the Twitter universe. Ladies and gentlemen, real estate investor, super mogul of the universe, does what he says he's gonna do, fills up stadium, excellent father, great husband, friend to all, and in your face to some. Grant Cardone! All right, let's go live, Johnny.
We're on, man.
What?
We're on.
What? We're live? Oh, shit, I didn't mean, oh, wow. Okay, hey, sorry you guys had to put up with all that. I didn't have anybody do my intro tonight, so I thought I'd warm up on it. Hope you're doing great tonight. Hope you're having a laugh today. Hope you had some victories today. Most importantly, okay, today, this week, this month, it's time to get invested. It's time to get your money to work for you harder than you work for it. And this is a trick that the wealthy have been using for years. They trade time for money, and then they pay attention to how money can multiply. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's not how much money you make, it's how much you can get money to multiply. You could be a person earning $25 an hour and saying, I need to earn $50 an hour. Okay, you could, that would be good. Okay, I'm gonna get a better education. I'm gonna go get $50 an hour. I'm gonna get better at my job and I'm gonna get $50 an hour. You can do that. Or you could simply say, I'm gonna earn $25 an hour. Because no matter how good you get, if you don't learn the second trick of wealth creation, which is I need to get my $50 or my $25 to triple, quadruple, to even 10x. Tonight, I'm gonna show you how a kid from Lake Charles, Louisiana with no money, all of you out there saying, oh, you're talking about how to make hundreds of millions of dollars. Tonight, I'm gonna talk about how to make $1 billion, $1 billion. I'm gonna show you my plan to make $1 billion and how you could actually make millions of dollars with me, doing it with me. For those of you out there like, you're talking about all this money, but I need to make another 50 grand. You have to learn how to multiply money. You have to learn how to multiply money. Do you understand that I can multiply money faster than I can add and subtract it? Right? So watch, let me just show you something. Let's say a ball player is making, I don't know, 20 million. Who's somebody that's signed recently, Johnny?
Let's see, we got Jimmy Butler making 30 million a year.
JB's making 30 million a year. This is what happens to JB, okay? JB makes 30 million a year. If he gets hurt, he loses it all.
There's clauses.
He's not guaranteed that 30 million. He gets hurt, he's done. He's got to play to be paid, right? But let's say he gets the 30 million. This is what happens. First of all, the agents are going to take 6 of it. The U.S. government's going to take 50% of it. That's 15. Okay, so now he's down to 9. So I don't know, like that's what if he buys one great house, that's 9 million if he wants to pay cash for it, because Dave Ramsey says don't use any debt. He doesn't have any money. The trick for JB here is to learn how to work harder, pitch harder. What is he, a pitcher?
He's a basketball player.
Oh, he's a basketball player. Sorry. You should see the check marks that have been banging on me because I'm talking about this multiplier, the wealth effect, right? Because these ball players and rappers and musicians and high earners, okay? They're the ones that don't get it about the wealth effect and how to multiply money. Some of them do. By the way, I got them coming into my office right now saying, hey, here's $1 million, here's $2 million, here's $5 million. I had a really smart guy yesterday give me, $3 million, $3.2 million? $3.5 million. He had the money invested in bonds, and I showed him the wealth effect. He's like, oh my God. I tripled his money. I took his depreciating cash that's going down in value, this, is going down in value. And I took and we put it in an asset that immediately, instantly tripled the value of his investment. So I'll show you that tonight. So watch what happens here. This is what he'll do. JB will say, I got to play better. I got to be better. He's going to worry every game that he's going to get hurt. This is what all these ball players go through. I'm going to get hurt tonight. I can't get hurt tonight. So he'll start worrying about himself. Okay, I can get endorsements. So he's going to actually start selling himself out right here. He's going to do endorsements, sell soap, shoes, whatever, right? He could make more money on the endorsements than he did on his contract. Watch what happens. He gets a contract with Adidas. Adidas says, hey, we'll front you 10 million. 10 million. Guess what happens? The agents get 20%. The government gets 50%. He ends up with, out of a $10 million contract, he ends up with $4 million. So now he's got 4. And he's got to keep hoping. I hope I don't get hurt. Let's say he has a bad season. Next season's a bad season. Or let's say something happens to him. Some girl says he did something in the elevator. He can't defend himself. Adidas pulls the contract. He hurts himself. This has happened a lot of times. A lot of ball players, a lot of high earners, this has happened to. Not to mention plumbers, contractors, guys that are making 150, 250,000, 300 grand a year, and you're like, or somebody that worked 40 or $50,000 a year your whole life, and you're like, why at the end of my life don't I have anything? I didn't want that to happen to me, okay? I didn't want this to happen to me. I've been studying wealthy people my whole life and saying, hey, why do some people end up with so much wealth? They can never, ever spend it all. It can't be destroyed. It can't be taken away from. It's called the wealth effect. So I looked for vehicles. First thing I want to tell you tonight is why this particular vehicle that I'm talking to you about. Real estate, real assets, a specific kind of real estate, okay? See, I would immediately take JB's money and I'd put that entire $9 million into an asset and make it illiquid. I would tell JB, look, go broke right now. Get rid of that cash right now. Live off the endorsement money. You should never spend both these. You should only live off of one income, okay? The other one should all be 100% invested in something that's guaranteed to replenish his living. In the case of JB, because his income is so big and the endorsement's so big, I could actually say, JB, let's do this. First year, this is going to become 30 million right here. I'm going to invest it in an asset. And this right here is going to become $12 million. And both of these are going to offset your tax exposure that you're getting hammered on with the IRS, because his agent, his manager, is not the problem. It's the IRS that's killing him. Combination of the IRS and his management team, he ends up with no money and doing all the work, okay? So I'd have $42 million invested for him. He'd have $42 million in year one of his contract. Okay, well, Grant, how's he gonna live? I took all his dough. I took everything he had, dude. I said, take you down to zero. The only thing I would let JB spend his money on, buy cars on, is the income generated from the 42. God, if they taught this in the NFL, the NBA, people got to do what they want, so you can't make people do this. But my buddy Offset, if you're watching, dog, dude, if you and Cardi B did this with all your earnings, man, you could still have the lifestyle. I'm not telling you guys not to have money, not to spend stuff, not to buy big watches and necklaces and drips and whatever you want, right? You could do all that. But the way you do it is out of the production. This would throw off dough that would pay for your lifestyle, the family, the house, the insurance, the protection, the trips, and the goodies, right? All the bobs and throps. He did that in year one. He could do it again in year two. That's another 42 million plus the income. In year three, okay, let's say he gets another big endorsement. We take him up to 50 right here. Like in 3 years, I could have this guy worth $100 million. In just a period of 15 or 20 years, he could be worth $300 or $400 million. Jay-Z did it, Dre did it, Warren Buffett did it. It's not just a white people game, by the way. All the new guys are starting to figure it out. Guys are coming out from the streets in the hood. They're coming out from Lake Charles, Louisiana, refining town, where, dude, if you made $18 an hour, you were a big shot in the town that I came from. You made 50 grand in a year, and you weren't having to shove a freaking pipe through another pipe 12 hours a day to get overtime. If you could figure out how to make you were a big shot in my town. If you could buy the beer at the bar, you were a big shot at my town. If you could pay for your truck and your house, you were a big shot where I grew up, okay? My first deal was $3,000. Last month, we closed $250 million worth of real estate. I took the last 2 deals that I showed you over the last 2 weeks, added them to 2 other deals that I did. We bought $405 million worth of real estate. I'm going to show it to you right here. It's on the back of the wall. I don't know, Johnny, if you can zoom in or show them the pictures of these properties. 1,600, how many is it, Ryan? 1,654. 1,654 units, over 1.6 million square feet. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. You're bragging about your Lambos, okay? My friends out there walking around in their Fendi bucket hats, their Gucci shoes and loafers. I got 1,654,000 square feet of real estate that people live in. Already built. Cash flows from day one. This is magic. Like what I'm telling you is the most legal system in the world. And if you don't take advantage of this, you are nuts. I am going to literally make people hundreds of millions of dollars over the next 5 to 7, 10 years. Now, years ago, you couldn't tell people what I'm telling you right now because we didn't have the distribution of the message, which is YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So even if somebody could do this years ago, which you could, nobody could hear about it because CNBC's not going to let me go on their TV network. Fox isn't going to let me go on there and say, I'm making people millionaires. Okay, I guess I could buy ad time, but why do I need to do that when I can just talk to my 16 million friends on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube? Okay, so look, we bought $405 million. We put $143 million down, and that $143 million, I wrote those checks myself. Who wrote those checks, Ryan? Was that my money? My money wrote bing, 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 and I signed on $262 million. I'm on the hook for $250 million. This is what I'm most excited about, by the way. This debt right here. This is the wealth effect. This is how you create wealth, and this is what they don't teach you at Harvard and Yale. They're never going to teach you this until you get in the game, okay? The professor doesn't know it. If the professor knew this, he wouldn't be a teacher, he'd be an investor. Right? The broker, if the broker understood this, the broker wouldn't be a broker. If they really understood the wealth effect, the compound effect of wealth creation, right? You'll never go broke buying watches. You'll go broke because you never understood how to multiply money. And this is the multiplication of money. I basically took, and you can be part of this, okay? When you go to CardoneCapital.com, when you go to CardoneCapital.com, let me just show you what it looks like actually. When you go to CardoneCapital.com, you can do 2 things. Every day, almost every day, somebody goes in there and invests $1 million, 300 grand, 400 grand, almost $1 million goes in every day. This weekend, I think we had commitments for $14 million, okay? So this right here, you go there and you hit invest, or you could hit schedule a call. Watch this. If I hit schedule a call, this is open to accredited and non-accredited. We ask you to keep your call and questions to 5 minutes because
we just don't have enough slots in the day.
I just don't have enough people to answer the phones. Okay, if I go to the 17th and I click on that, you can find a place to do a 5-minute call. 1:15 is as soon as you can get one. 1:30, 1:45, 2 o'clock. Okay. You got questions. Now, on this website, CardoneCapital.com, there's also questions, frequently asked questions, because some of you just don't know the questions to ask. Right? Your questions are born out of fear. What if something happens to Grant? What? And I can answer all those questions for you, or you can schedule a call and we can answer it for you, or you can read it on the internet. What happens if something happens to Grant? Okay, go back to the pictures of the first of all, I have an unbelievable team. I got a management team that has 200 years of experience behind us. Okay, we use a third-party management team, 150 employees, We lose some employees, we get better employees, right? So we've got 150 people on location on each of the properties. If I die, no renter, no leaser, no agent, nobody's gonna know anything happened to me because this real estate is real. 1.6 million square feet of real estate with, Johnny, get me out of that shot.
Alrighty.
I don't want to see that.
Gotcha.
Okay. 1.6 million square feet, 1,654 units, 1,654 households, or some percentage thereabout, okay? And what do we have? Help me out. 346 in the top left-hand corner.
346.
Del Rey. I'm going left to right. Down here, Laguna Bay, Naples, Florida. $101 million real estate investment. The top left is $92 million. The bottom left is $101 million. The top right, that's Naples, Florida. You know Naples. Everybody knows where Naples is. Sugar Land, Texas. 351 units, $70 million. All these have 10 years of debt on them. And the bottom right-hand corner, the monster, is called Nexus. It's now called 10X Living because we're going to put our 10X team in there. 10X management. 10X when you answer the phone. 10X when somebody has a problem. 10X when the plumbing leaks. 10X when people bullshit you and you got some idiot at the pool on Saturday and he drinks too much. Well, guess what? We get to 10X his ass off the 10X living because this is for everybody, not just for him. And the way to secure an environment, and you want to secure environments, you want to make them safe for the kids, safe for the people, safe for the neighborhood, so we can raise rents and people don't leave there. Make them secure. These properties that we bought, these 1,654 units, are nicer than 99% of the homes, not that you live in, but that the homes your rich, rich friends live in. So I would dare say there's not one person watching this right now that if you drove to any of these properties, you'd be like, yeah, I'd live there. I'd put my mom there. I'd put myself there. I could spend a weekend there. I could spend 10 months there. Okay? All right.
And still the rents are $1,700.
Good. And we're going to go over the rents. I'm going to show you how this works, and I'm going to show you why you want to invest in it and why you need to pull the trigger on this because we're this far from filling this fund up. I think we're 86% filled up, okay? $143 million is the total of the fund. There's only 14% of that left, so that's what, $18 million. 130 million has been, 125 million or so has been raised. I think that's the number, 125. Accredited and non-accredited, okay? You could put a minimum of 5,000 in.
20 million.
Yeah, 20 million. We've got 20 million left to go, okay? So look, let me show you the income of these 4 properties. Now notice what I've done. The people that invested with us before, my sister, she was one of the first people to invest in the Del Rey property. 346 units, $92.5 million, 38 acres, beautiful. I drove the property, I'm like, we're buying it for sure, no doubt about it. We definitely will buy this thing. Probably got $250,000 worth of palm trees. My sister got invested in that deal. When she did not know, she put $100,000 or $200,000 in the deal. She did not know, she's 60, what am I, 60, 63, so she's 71 years old. She can't lose money at 71. She didn't have any income. She's like, Grant, is this a good deal? Sis, promise you, you're gonna make money here. Okay, like I know we're gonna make money on this deal. I bought the deal with my money. What she didn't know is that I was gonna add 3 more deals, okay? Now, when this fund is over with, that's it. My sister did not know I was gonna add Laguna, another $100 million, Nexus, $140 million, and then our Sugar Land deal, which you can't even buy property in Sugar Land. The homes that surround the Sugar Land property are millions of dollars. She didn't know that. What does that do for her? It basically gave her income not on 1 property, but on 4 properties. It took the income from 1 property that was about $7 million a year. That's how big these complexes are. Every complex does over $7 million. Do you know that only 4% of all small businesses in America, all businesses in America, less than 4%, less than 4% make $1 million a year? Every building here, I think every building without exception makes at least $7 million. Over 7 million, okay? So the income from all 4 properties is 34 million. Johnny, am I too far back? Should I come up a little closer? Is this better? Okay. 34 million. Our expenses on the properties are $14 million. I'm just giving you all the numbers. I'm completely transparent. Deion Sanders, I was on the phone with him yesterday. He's like, how can I help you do what you do, man? I said, well, what do you think I do? He says, well, I think you're a real honest guy. That's what I think. I think you want to help people and you're a real honest guy. He's like, I've been reading people my whole life. You know, when you play cornerback, folks, what was Deion? Cornerback?
Yes, sir.
You got to read people. You on the line, you reading. Is he going left? Is he going right? Is he going long? Is he going short? Is he going to give me the hooky duck? Okay, Deion Sanders knows how to read people. He says, I can trust you, man. Okay, you got to learn how to read people. Fran Tarkenton said the same thing. He was a quarterback, little small guy. He's like, you got to know how to read people. The NOI on this deal, this is what determines value. The NOI on these properties is $20 million. Now, can you give me my phone right there? Is that yours or mine? That's yours? Where's mine? Oh, here's mine. Okay, I just got to do this just because I'm curious about it. There's Matt Joyce reaching out to me. Man, I'm about to go into the ozones.
You got 1,480 people.
Yeah. Y'all know who Matt Joyce is? Atlanta Braves. Come on, man. Yeah, man. Get your game on, man. Look him up. This is good, huh? Okay. Hey, welcome to the 1,400 people here. We're talking about these 4 properties. If you just came on, these 4 properties, $400 million worth of real estate, you can invest in them. 400 million. I put the whole thing together. And you can come in, because one of the frequently asked questions, what is Grant marking this up? When I come in, he bought it. This has taken 6-7 months to buy. At least to put the whole thing together. I put the whole fund together.
10 months.
You get to come in at the same price I did. Okay? We have a management fee. I'll go over all that. It's in the prospectus. You can ask the questions tomorrow when you schedule a call. We make money. I make money on the transaction, but I got to make money. I got to make money for everybody else to make money, right? Okay, so look, if I take this NOI and I divide by a 5 cap, which is what we're buying these on, very, very difficult to buy a 5 cap today, is you're going to see a value of about $400 million come up on the screen, okay? Now, we think this portfolio is already worth more than $400 million. Only need to be right on a couple of them. That is the value of diversification, right? When I have 4, when I have 1, I got to be right on 1, which, hey, I think I'm going to be right on 1 too. But if I got 4 of them, I might not have to be right on all of them for us all to be all right. Seems like I should be in church. See, this is what Steve Harvey, my man Steve Harvey, I know you're on vacation right now if you're watching, dude, but we ought to be pouring into this thing, man. We ought to create the Steve Harvey Grant Cardone fund. Floyd Mayweather, me and Floyd ought to have our own fund. It'd be called the what? The Money Mayweather Cardone Capital Fund.
The money fund.
The money fund, where we all have fun. I just don't go to strip joints, Floyd. Okay, so look, the cash flow from this deal in the first year is $8.5 million in free cash flow. In case you're just coming and you don't understand how this works, this is 1,654 units to produce that much income. It costs us $14 million to run them. This is our NOI, okay? Our debt, after debt, our debt comes in right here. After debt, we still will have $8 million. Guess what we do with that money? I said, what should we do with that money? Now, if I was an investor, what would I want people to do with that? Oh, I forgot, I am an investor. I was the first investor. You can't invest until I do. So I set all the rules based up on what does Grant want. Grant, no matter what Grant does, Grant wants to be paid every month. My whole life, I'm like, hey, I work, I want to be paid. I invest, I want to be paid. That's why I've never understood the Wall Street thing, why you guys get so enticed by Wall Street. Even though Wall Street right now, we're at the highs. If you got a bunch of money made over there, folks, you got to be thinking, take that money home. You don't make money there until you sell the stocks. Take it off the table. We're at 27,000 or something. Okay, 100% gains from when Trump got in office. Unbelievable. Take that money. Take it. Get your capital gains. Get your money invested in real assets. You can see these assets are beautiful. 1,654. We invested $143 million. And in year one, we will earn $8.5 million in cash flow, which we will distribute to you and to me and to my sister and my brother. We'll divide that by 143 million. That's 5.9% return to the investors. Now, I got to hit this point before I actually start getting benefits. But you can read all about that in the prospectus, okay? And we'll do that, by the way, because once I add the 10X experience, the 10X living, we're going to raise the rents, tighten the thing down, quit wasting money, spend it on the right thing. So how do we make money? I said tonight in the video, the way you make money on this is either to go buy your own 1,654 units, put your own portfolio, find the deals, fund the deals, finance the deals, or you find a guy like me that's doing it that will let you in the deal. The way to invest is cardonecapital.com cardonecapital.com. cardonecapital.com. You go there, you register, and you just do the paperwork. You decide, am I accredited or am I non-accredited? And you do the paperwork and you put your money in. Okay. This fund will be finished by, I would expect, what date are we right now?
The 16th.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if we're not completely filled and we close this fund in 14 days or less. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the money now. Okay, now today is 2019, and then maybe look at some questions. We could feed some questions. Okay. 2019. Let's look at 2000. How long you want to go? You want to go 10 years or 15 years?
10.
Let's go 15 years. Okay, we're going to go 15 years. We probably will sell. Ryan Secco invested 400 grand with me. I'm very conservative, right? So when Ryan invested $400,000 with me, I said, Ryan, look, it's going to make 5%. You're going to make 20 grand a year on your 400,000, but you're not going to do anything. And we're probably going to be there until, I don't know, that was 3 years ago. We bought the deal 3 or 4 years ago. That was 15. So we're probably going to be there until 25. 2015, we're going to probably sell the deal in 2025. You're going to make a bunch of money. I guarantee we're going to make a bunch of money on this deal. It was 800 units, half the size of this. We sold this in 2000, when?
Last year.
18? Sold it 3 years after we bought it. His 400 grand, he got $1.1 million back, okay? So his money tripled, and it did that in 38 months, under 38 months. I told him it was gonna be 10 years. Now what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna show you what a worst case scenario looks like, because I don't care as long as we create wealth. Personally, don't care how long it takes. Okay, I've never wanted to get rich quick. I've never believed in the fairy tales. I've always known everything's going to take work. I grew up like that. I grew up in Lake Charles. It was hard work. You want to cut the grass, you had to push the lawnmower. Even if you had a riding lawnmower, there was always something that would happen to the riding lawnmower. It was all hard work. And even if you had the riding lawnmower, you still had to put the grass in a bag and bring it out to the street. It's work, man. There's no way around hard work until you start creating wealth. Somebody asked me today, well, how hard did you work to get your money? I've worked on a scale from 1 to 10, a 50 to get my money. The wealth effect does not take a 50, it don't take a 10. But it does take you sitting down saying, I'm committed to wealth. I'm gonna write a check. I'm gonna transfer garbage pieces of paper for real assets that produce more paper. If they don't produce paper, it's a gamble. You need assets like these that cash flow, okay? What guarantees me that I don't lose this deal is this right here. So you always should look for a worst case scenario. What's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is we don't hit our 6%. We hit 3. We get cut in half, okay? Economy crashes around us. Okay, we only make $4 million. I can wait. 4 million this year, 4 million next year. The rents are gonna come back. They've come back since 1945. $4 million, boom, $8 million, $9 million, $10 million. These rents will go up. The cash flow from these properties will go up over time. It'll be $9 million, $10 million, $12 million, $13 million, $14 million. It'll grow over these 15 years. That will happen. That's why people get rich in real estate. Okay? Look, if you're not going to do this with me, go do it yourself. Learn this. This is the way for the everyday person to create wealth. I'm never going to be Deion Sanders. I'm never going to be Floyd Mayweather. There's no chance of me ever being a singer or a dancer. But anybody can sit down and write a check and invest in real estate. So watch, 2024, is that right? Yeah. We're going to sell this property 15 years from now. So we're going to look at what is,
2034 would be 15 years.
Oh, 2034.
Yeah.
2034. I'll be 75 years old. I'm good. 75 years old. What am I thinking about? Dude, I just want to cruise around the planet. I want to get a ship. Dude, I got 75 years. I got probably good 15 or 20 years left to live.
Cash flow in the back of the boat.
Like, I'm not too old. I'm not too old to have fun at 75. Dude, I could be like, let's go, dog. Dom Perignon all day. Huh? Okay, yeah, I need a dentist. What's happened to your teeth? Well, I'm drinking too much Dom. Right? Okay, so watch. 15 years from now. This thing, let's assume this thing's been paying us $8 million for 15 years. What did it pay us? No rent increases yet. 8 times 15. It's $120 million. No rent increases, okay? Is that even possible? I guess it could be. Could it? I mean, hard to think that there wouldn't be a rent increase in 15 years. But let's go with it, okay? I invested $163 million. I got $120 million of my money back.
You invested 143.
I'm sorry, I invested 143. 143. So I'm going to divide 120 by 143. 84% of my money has been returned. It's called the wealth effect. Well, why is that the wealth effect? You didn't get all your money back. We own the property. I own the property. I have 84% of my investment back, and we still own the property, okay? I said to you when I started this today, the most important number on this board, where did I show that? Was the debt. Remember I said that? I said, dude, the most important number on this deal was this number right here. Okay? Because the lender's going to be like, hey, it's time. That's good for me. That's good for me, okay? So watch what happens here. And again, all you got to do is go through this tonight, watch this, show it to your accountant if he can pay attention that long. He probably won't even understand what I'm talking about. If your accountant knew what I knew, your accountant would be doing this, not your books. Okay, so let's see. Where am I at, Ryan? What page am I on here? Oh yeah, 84%. Number 2. Number 2. Where you want to go? You want to go rents?
Yeah, rents, yeah.
Okay, let's go rents. Rents since 1945 in America have increased at least 3% a year on average. So if you go back 1945 to right now, it's 60 years, 180%. No big deal. It's not a big deal. Like rents used to be like $400. They went to $800. That's a 100% increase. You go from $400 to $1,200. That's a 200% increase, a 300% increase. Okay? So let's say rents increase 3%, 15 years. These rents are on average what? $1,750? It doesn't really matter. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter what the average is today. It matters because I'm going to ask you another question here in a second. Okay? But watch. We've already figured the average. We've taken the average rent we're getting today, and that's how we got the $8 million. I collected the rent. So we're just going to look at the addition. That's why so many people complicate this. I'm like, all you got to do is look at the increase. We already made $8 million 15 years in a row without a rent increase. Now let's figure the rent increase. That's going to be $700. Let me see, $1,750 is our average rent here. times 1,654 units. A lot of units. Most important number in real estate is the number of units. That's $2.8,954,000 a month. Everybody get clear on this. That's every 30 days. Diggity dogs. Times 12. $34,734,000. That's a good old NFL salary right there. Shit. Oh, but my knees don't hurt. You know what I mean, friend? Okay, so what? $34,734,000. 1 year contract. I get hurt, I still get this money. You got it? Okay. I got some kind of problem. Somebody accused me of doing something in the elevator I didn't even do. I still get this money. They can't get rid of me. I'm not a bitch for the NFL, okay, or the NBA, okay? And that's 1 year. I've had this thing 15 years. Let's assume that only 7 of the 15 years, only half of it, I think that's a fair argument, I got that increase, okay? Times, or you want to go 5? What's fair? 5 or 7?
Percent.
No, how many years did I get that rent increase?
7 years.
7. So if I get that rent increase, oh, holy moly, I own the team. Not quite, but I'm getting there. $243 million, okay? The rent increases. If I could figure out how to keep the entire rent increase, that none of it went to expenses, which is not real, okay, would be $243 million. Let me just go ahead and whack it in half. Say, hey, half of it went to expenses. $121 million. So I'm going to go ahead and scratch that. $121 million.
You said the 243 is all the rent, right? Because right now the property's doing $34 million.
You remember my exactly, but this is 7 years.
So after 7 years, that's how much you've collected.
Well, I got this money right here. I got this back. That was my cash flow.
Right.
If the properties never increase rent. The rent increase, when I get a rent increase, I got 7 years of this higher rent increase. Assume that the expenses went up with it. They probably did. That's $121 million. I got $120 million here. I got $121 million here. But what you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, is that rent increase and that NOI and this number right here is what people will value this new property at, okay? So if I take $121 million and I divide that by 0.0, no, I'm sorry, not 121 million, because that was by the year. Let's just do the 1 year. The 1654 times the, I'm looking for the increased value of the portfolio. 164 times the rent increase, if I got it, times 12. That's 15, is that right? 1654 times $15 million in new NOI. NOI is what determines value of the property divided by 0.5. Woo! Oh my God. $303 million. I told you I was going to show you how to become a billionaire tonight. So what happened here? Okay. You're like, no, dude, the guy's spinning me out of here. I'm blowing my mind. Can this be true? Hey, I'm not telling you we're going online and we're going to have some bullshit funnel offer and you're going to get rich overnight. Okay, this is not a get rich quick. There are risks involved in this investment. Okay, you're not buying a $1,000 program and you're going to become a genius overnight and people from around the world are going to buy your product suddenly and you're going to be you're taking your money, okay, that you work your ass off for. And whether you make a little money or a lot of money, you're taking that money. And some people, by the way, it's harder for people that make a lot of money to do this. They just screw it up. I don't know why. It's harder for people that make a lot of money to do this than people that make a little bit of money. You're going to take that money and you're going to put that money to work. And you're not going to do anything. I'm going to go do the work because I know what I'm doing here. Because I've lost most people, okay? Do you understand this investment? 120, remember these, 121 and 300. I'm going to do this whether you guys invest with me or not. Like it's just not a, okay, cash flow. First cash flow over the 15 years, $120 million. The increase was 121. Wasn't it 121? Huh? Oh, no, yeah. The rent increase was $121 million. That's a return to me. And then the new value is $303 million. Not the old value, because the old value, what I paid for the damn place, was $405, I think is what we said we had in it. This is what the value of this portfolio is now, okay? This is the total return on this portfolio, $949 million, if I count everything. And I'm probably low. I've been low my whole career. 30 years I have underestimated this calculation because I wouldn't sell this deal at this point. This is what I would do at this point. I would take the 405 and the 303. That's the value of this property now. I've already taken this off the table and I've taken this off the table. We paid this to the investors. The investors got their money. Johnny got his. Johnny invested with me. I got some money out of the deal. I ran my team. We're out buying new real estate. We're doing the due diligence. We're doing our homework. We're flying around finding properties. I'm negotiating deals. I'm running. I got my management team on the ground. We pay them extremely well to make sure the property's secure, it's safe, the tenants are taken care of, the deadbeats get thrown off the property. But check it out. So we got that. Everybody got this money. You see this? This is the value of the property now. The 303 and the 405 is the new value. This is the ultimate wealth creation right here. The 303 and the 405 is $708 million. I'm going to go to the bank in year 15 because I run the fund and I'm in control and because I'm a smart dude. And I'm going to be like, dude, some guy's going to come along from Blackstone and say, I want to buy them 4 deals from you, man. What you think? Okay, I think that's a good idea, but I think I got a better idea. Because if he wants it, what does that mean?
More than what he's going to pay.
What we're going to do is we're going to do what he would do with it, what Blackstone would do with it. But we're going to keep them out of this deal and just do it together. And I'm going to let the little man, the middle man, the everyday man, the ball players and the rappers and my friends on Instagram and my family and my cousins, my nephews, my nieces, I'm going to let them get rich rather than Blackstone, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this back to the bank. I know a lot of them. And I'm going to say, hey, my property is valued at $708 million. I'm going to substantiate, justify that, and support that with my numbers. They're going to see like, oh, I can see that. This is not a big number for them. It's a big number for you. I'm going to say, I want you to lend me 68% of that number. I picked that kind of out of thin air, okay? I think it's a safe number. It's not over leveraged. It's a fair leverage amount. $481 million. They're going to be like, you know what? Let's just see if that can. Let's see if that can work. And they're going to put it through their little spender, blender, their Vitamix machine, their calculator. Yes. We think based on this and that and that and this. Yes, this property and these properties can support and substantiate $481 million loan. Okay, all right. Okay. Hey, buddy, I got to call you back. I love you so much.
Okay, I love you.
I'll call you right back, champ. That's why you do all this, man, so you can take care of these kids. Like, I die right now, my kids, man, they're going to go on and live their life. Like their life for 30 or 40 years, they're going to be like, they will remember their whole life, that dude that set them up. Okay, so, and if I'm going to ruin my kids, I'm ruining them like this. Like, at least they don't have to worry about this, okay? Maybe they screwed the whole thing up, but they won't be able to blame me. Let's see, 7, 12, what is that, 2? 227 million. Y'all know what that number is? That's a stupid number. This is the stupid number. Y'all know what that number is?
The equity left in the deal.
No. This is the money. Yeah, well, that's right. Equity left in the deal. But this is the money we're going to get back to the investors. Remember these guys that put $143 million down?
41 minus the loan, right?
Well, this is the new loan.
Yeah, the new loan's 41.
So remember, we all invested this money over here, 143?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to give everybody their money back. $143 million. It's going to go back to the investors. But you guys forget that we still have 80 million left. 80, what, 84? Yeah. I'm going to get some of that. I'm going to get some of that money. $84 million is left over, but you also forgot this. How many of you out there, you're like, dude, I'm pretty good, man. I got all my money back. And we still own this thing. Everybody with me? I give everybody their dough back. And unlike other people who would just take the property back right now, kick you out of the deal, I'm going to keep you in the deal. We get our money back. There's 84 million left to split. Plus, oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about it. You remember that $8 million we've been getting every year? Multiply that times 15. You got that every damn year. Every year I paid you that. It's 120 million. You're even already here. This is just getting stupid. Like you already had every flavor at Baskin Robbins, and I'm like, let's try one more. Sick to your stomach with money, okay? I'm getting some of this money. That's how I make my money, okay? All right, and, oh, did we forget about them 7 years of rent increases? Forgot what that number is, man. I'm getting so excited. I feel like the Easter Bunny right now. Shit. Stupid. See, you guys are like, man, this is stupid, man. This is ridiculous. Can't even be legal. Like, well, sorry, it is. I haven't even shared the tax advantages with you. For the ball player, you didn't even pay taxes the first 3 or 4 years I sent you money because of the write-offs and the depreciation, okay? I got one more number here. The rent increases were what? I forgot what those were. We cut them in half, too. I think it was 787 times 1654 times 15. 787 times, 787. You guys are like, okay, I believe you, dude. I'm convinced. Times 12 times 7 times 50%. It's $54 million. If I cut it in half, don't think I'd even need to. Gave your money back, you're good, 100%. You got all your money back. Everybody good? We still own the property. I went and got a new loan. We didn't sell it. We still own 1,654 units. The year is 2034. Add 15 years to your life. You're moving into those period of your life where you're like 45 now, you're 60 years old, you're 75 years old, and this property is going to continue to pay itself. And we're going to have to, you've already collected this, you already collected this, and now I'm going to send you a check for $84 million. Okay. If you want to figure it out, if you want to get involved, if you've seen enough, quit thinking about it and go to CardoneCapital.com and get invested, okay? I'm going to do this. This is happening right now. 2,500 people have invested with us already. This weekend, $15 million came in from less than 400 people. 400 people put in 15 million. How much is left?
$20 million is left. We're 86% funded. 20 million is left.
Well, you on mic? They can't hear you talking then. So this weekend, how much was raised Sunday?
14 million.
$14 million. 14 million. There was 400 people in a room, divided by 400. That's $34,000 a person, something like that. Is that all? How many people are online right now? 1,500 people online right now, times 3,400 people. That's $5 million right there, okay? So our average accredited investor does 400 grand, just so you know. I think there was only, how many investors this weekend? 40? How many people actually invested with us? How many people committed to the investment?
40 people.
Okay. $13 million, 13.5, came from 40 people, 46 people, he's saying. Well, that was 293,000 a person. Times, let's say there's 1,500 people.
Yes, sir. Combined with Facebook and YouTube.
Let's say 20% of them, let's say 20% of 1,500 people, 300 people gave me that much money. I'd raise $88 million tonight and I only have room for 20 million bucks. Okay, CardoneCapital.com is the website. If you're not ready, no problem. Okay, don't rush into anything. Do your homework. Read the paperwork. There is risk. There's risk. You're illiquid. You can't get your money back tomorrow. Okay, 3 months from now, you want your money, can't get it back. There's risk. There's risk that you don't put enough into. Let me just tell you that. Most of you are going to be like, look back. You're going to look back 7 years from now. You're going to be like, God damn, I should have done more. Okay, number one thing that I have said my whole life is I should have bought more. Okay, this is a low risk investment, but it is a risk. You can't get your money back. Okay, there could be inflation problems, economic problems, problems in a local market. Things can happen. But that being said, if things happen that affect housing, rental properties are going to do well. If interest rates go up, these rental properties become more valuable because they become fuller. If there was an economic contraction, okay, really bad, loss of jobs, jobs go from 3% unemployment to maybe 6%, guess what? The rental market gets better. I'm not buying shopping centers. We're not buying retail. We're not buying Bloomingdale's. We're not buying strip centers. We're buying apartments that most of you would be proud, not feel like, oh God, I'm just living here. You'd be proud to live in these properties, okay? And the rents are not unaffordable. So we have the product figured out, we have the purchase figured out, we have the cash flow figured out, I have the organization and the management figured out. I got a great team. We're right here in Aventura. You can come visit our offices. But what you can do right now to get more security about doing this is, do we have the book? Do we have the book, the real estate book anywhere? Okay, if you're not ready to invest, maybe you don't have money right now, okay? You don't have any money. You got $5. You're like, how do I even get any money? Go grab this little book, okay? It's a book. It's free. You can get it, grantcardone.com/global. We got something for everybody. So if you're not ready to invest, go get a free book. If you think you're ready to invest, go to CardoneCapital.com, register, get your paperwork done, and
It really is more than just an investment, it's a partnership.
Yeah, and you are. This is a good point. Ryan just said, hey, it's more than investment, it's a partnership. You're my partner, okay? The paperwork that you sign when you're going through the paperwork, whether you're accredited or not accredited, my brother signed accredited paperwork. If you're accredited and you sign the paperwork, that contract that you get between me and you as a partner is identical to the agreement that my twin brother signed and my sister signed and Ryan Secco signed and Jared and Sherry. It is identical. There is no difference. No words are different, no commas, no periods, no special deals, no family offers, nothing. It is the same identical deal. Brandon Dawson, he's a partner with me at Cardone Capital. He got exactly the same paperwork my brother got, exactly the same paperwork you got. Frank Kern's a partner of mine, same paperwork, okay? So CardoneCapital.com is the website. You got any questions you want to ask, Johnny? You got anything there?
So we got.
You want to pick the good ones out? Maybe you know what's. An often asked question is, what's the worst thing that can happen? You know, it's almost like when I start going through these worst case scenarios. Look for something. Any worst case scenarios, and a shout out to somebody. Worst case scenarios is the worse the situation gets, it almost helps rental. So diversification. Hey, why are you diversifying? Okay, that's a question from David. Because when I diversify, okay, I have a deal in Houston, Texas. If this is the United States, right? I got one investment right over here. I got another investment right here. I got one investment right here, and I got one investment right here. See this, Ryan? Look at my lines, okay? This right over here, why do I want to be diversified? Most people see this map and they're like, oh man, you're geographically. Hey, why are you diversified? Okay, you're geographically diversified. These are hospital jobs. Okay, these are retirement jobs. These are blue collar jobs right over here in Delray. And so we want the diversification. We also, why these markets? Notice where we're moving to. We're moving south. All these jobs coming out of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. I ain't dumb, man. I got people coming in from Cali over here to Sugar Land, Texas. They look at rents in Sugar Land, $1,700. They're like, damn, I left Los Angeles. Those rents are like $6,000. Diversification. You're in the whole fund, not one deal.
Question from Eric. He says, if I invest with you, when does my money start working for me?
Excellent question. Okay, you come in, when you come in before the end of this week, I think, Ryan, this would be the right answer. You would get a check middle of September, not next month, okay, even though we would try to get it done by next month, but I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. You would get your first payment would be in the first 2 weeks of September. On the 15th of the month, we send out checks. We just sent out $1.3 million to our investors last month. I have people that are invested in all 7 funds. If you were in all 7 of my funds, your return right now, as the funds grow older, okay, what happens is the rents mature. So I have people that were in Fund 1 all the way to Fund 7, and their return is about 8%. Across the board. Now, the 7th deal that they got into last month, one of them paid 3.5%, but I also have another fund up here, one of them paid 15%. So the diversification thing will really help you, and we're looking forward to having that fund diversified into 4 properties.
Thomas asks, what's the minimum I can invest?
Minimum you can invest as an accredited investor is $100,000. For a non-accredited, it's 5 or 10. $5,000 for non-accredited, okay? International investors, what do they need to be invested?
They need to call in, schedule a call, we'll work through their scenario.
Schedule a call, we'll work through your scenario. If you have money in an IRA, a KEO, 401k, and you can self-direct, this is for self-directed. You want to get your money out of your Fidelity KEO plan, and you are self-employed, or you no longer work under somebody else or the auspice of a company, and you can self-direct those funds. We can show you how to self-direct. About 20% of our investors are self-directing their IRAs. Cash in the bank, that's a no-brainer. If you have cash in a bank, get your cash out of the bank and invest it. If you're in ETFs, you've doubled your money, okay? Sell that ETF and invest in real assets. Go ahead, Ryan.
When I invest...
The names are good.
So
Predit. Oh yeah, my friend Predit.
He says, when I invest, do I invest in all 4 of these properties?
When you invest in Fund 4 and or Fund 5, this represents an accredited and a non-accredited fund, you invest in all 4 properties. So what we do is we blend the cash flow from all 4 and distribute to you. So you own a piece. If it's $100, $100,000, or $1 million, you get your percentage of the entire fund.
This is from Scott. Are you an investor in these properties as well?
Scott wants to know if I'm an investor in the property. Scott, I'm the one that bought the properties with my money before I knew if anyone would ever invest with me, number 1. Number 2, the lender asked the same question. Who's buying these properties? The lender wants to know who the investor is. The lender not only knows I am the main investor, but the lender expects me to stay and remain invested in the deals and gave me the loans based on our ability as a company, not just me, but my team, to manage these deals over long periods of time.
Sherwin's asking, how long is the fund open for, and then what are the returns?
Sherwin wants to know how long the fund's open for and what are the returns. We anticipate a 5 to 6% return with a 15% internal rate of return, 15% internal rate of return. If you go back and what's his name again?
His name is
Sherman. Sherman, if you go back and watch the video again tonight, you're going to see a return way in excess of 15%. You're going to see the ultimate wealth creation machine. And that is to move money into infinity. That is, I would give everybody their money back. This would be the perfect desired scenario. You agree with this, Ron? Perfect scenarios. We never sell this property. Your return is all your money, and we own the property, and you continue to get a drip on the income from that property. Okay, look, I want to thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for being interested in your finance, in your wealth creation. Thank you for being interested in real estate. If any of you have been on here just kind of like taking up space, hating with no avatar, and you're just like, oh, this is this, and this is a scam, and this is this, that's fine, dude. You're never going to invest in anything, okay? This is not a scam. This is real assets, okay? This is so simple, so easy to separate from scams and a bunch of made up promises.
Especially when you have a real address.
These are real addresses, real assets. This isn't a promise. This isn't smoke and mirrors. These are real addresses. Those are real properties. Each one of these properties pays property taxes by their state and their county. Okay, they're registered in the county. You can drive there, you can see vehicles outside, people inside. These are real businesses that will generate $34 million worth of gross income in the first year, and then we'll grow it from there. Okay, we're not doing Yo-Yos or e-cigarettes. You're not making money online here. These are tremendous, big, physical, unbelievable investments, great, beautiful properties. Police live at most of these properties. Nurses live in them. Firemen live in them because we want to keep them safe. We typically do something with the police and fire departments at most of our properties in neighborhoods. Many of these have been renamed 10X Living. You're talking about 1.6 million. 1,654,000 square feet, ladies and gentlemen, square feet of real estate. Probably, I don't know, 200 acres. Over 200 acres of land. That's not a scam. That's a real deal. So, CardoneCapital.com is the website. Go there, register, get your money in right away. We're going to close this in the next 2 weeks. Or you can schedule a call. Don't be surprised if this voice is on the call. Thanks a lot for watching.